What is going on, everyone? I have no idea what I'm looking at right now, but apparently SunTzu has cast his Dwarven Gold Mine in the middle of nowhere and did not decide to veto. Anyways, I'm back. My name's Boyd, and I'm going to bring to you some Age of Empires, the Forgotten Sibling. Some of the best work ever done by the Age of Empires franchise. Yes, it is a part of the Age of Empires franchise. Don't try and tell me differently. We've got in the left side of the map, in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is SunTzu. His opponent today, in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is reDo. The map is Oasis. This is Season 2 of Vubli's Champions League, where only the strong survive and the weak get tossed to the lowly challengers. Not that the challengers are lowly, but they are lowly. SunTzu managing to hold on after Season 1, clutching his spot in the Champions League Season 2. reDo, on the other hand, coming second. So the big boy reDo to take on SunTzu here. We'll see in the off-season, have they been working on their craft, or has a certain amount of gluttony and slothishness taken over their will to own people at video games. So, Thor versus Oranos on this map. This map is a difficult map for the Thor player simply for the fact that you don't know how much hunt you're going to get. You might get an Oasis where you get 5 zebra starting and then 5 giraffe. It's possible. That's a decent map for the Thor player in this matchup. But then again, you might get a map where you get 3 zebra, 2 giraffe, and you go, why me? Why me indeed? But we're seeing SunTzu making the best out of his Dwarven Goldmine situation, moving over to this zebra, going to be shooting that one dead. I don't see that he has grabbed Pig Sticker just yet, so we'll see what happens in regards to that. Does this work? Oh, it does work. Very exciting. So we're going to be able to see all of the cool, nifty features over the left side. The one thing that is in, I was going to say small in SunTzu's favor, is this gold mine is not going to expire normally, but he just cast it in the middle of nowhere, so really no advantages for that one there. But Copish of Horrors coming here, not actually a bad relic to pick up for either player here, because one, if SunTzu gets to Skadi, is going to be wanting to make Frost Giants, so reDo's going to have to be able to deal with that somehow, and two, more importantly for SunTzu, he's going to want to be able to deal with those Prometheans and the Satyr and the Stymphalian birds. Not that his heroes can damage the Stymphalian birds, but it's a myth unit you have to deal with. So if he gets that Copesh of Horus, those Prometheans are going to be much less powerful. Now, the question here is, what has reDo done? It looks like he's going for a 430, going to be slightly delayed. I do recommend Oranos players in general to go 4 minutes on this map if you start with 3 or less zebra. Simply for the fact that your opponent is not going to be able to advance fast. You're going to be able to guaranteed do damage here to push off this other giraffe or the giraffe that are there. And sometimes you get to the point where maybe there's 6 giraffe or 5 giraffe here, right? Or 4 giraffe here, and you do a lot of damage. In this situation, there's only 2, so it's not going to be that big of a deal, but you get that big early pressure, but reDo not going for that. We're seeing the walls popping up now for SunTzu, going to be playing very, very defensive. He has a fantastic gold mine here. With these walls behind it, it's going to be completely safe for him. He's advancing super late, though. So if reDo wants to put the pressure on here, he can. We do see now, finally, SunTzu going up to the next stage, but he's going through Freya. Given the buff that that Thor had and Loki had to 4-SETI. You'd think that 4-SETI might be the god of choice here. Nice micro from SunTzu to keep that gatherer alive, doing a lot of damage over there, trying to get all of this food. But at this point, you just have to take your losses and leave this hunt here. Because he's going to just come at you very soon with Mermillo, with a Promethean. And we're seeing this villager almost falling over here, going to be retreating that one away. Maybe back home. This giraffe is now down to 100 food here. Still attempting to get this one. This low HP villager. reDo would love to kill this one, but SunTzu just chasing around. We'll see if he notices this villager here. He will notice it, going straight after it. Nice micro, 1 HP remaining, coming in with the rest of his villagers, almost taking down one of those oracles. He does take down one. He's going after 2, gets 3 oracle kills. Now the Promethean offspring is coming in. It is going to be retreating back. So big win here for SunTzu, but a lot of idle time. The question is, was that worth it or not? We're seeing the Promethean offspring trying to get onto that low HP villager. He does manage to kill that villager. That was the damage was done. I'm surprised he didn't run that one earlier there, but the Promethean will be going down. And the Longhouse coming up now for SunTzu as he's ready to start making the units, but he's currently supply blocked. And we do see some Catapulti out for reDo. An interesting try here, because normally we're seeing Terma coming through, but they get countered very hard by the, whatchamacallit. You know what I'm talking about, raiding cavalry. And now we're seeing those push back here. We got what looks to be counter barracks, which honestly, SunTzu has a lot of options here. If he realizes this is 2 counter barracks, he may be able to go for a lot of dwarves and a lot of Ulfsar, getting up armory upgrades and sort of role-playing a little bit as Odin, except with the utilizing armor upgrades. There's probably not enough food for that. So he's going to be chilling in his base. He's got his watchtowers up. The Term are going to be running in here looking for some of those low HP units, going straight after the Ursa, though. Probably a mistake there. Should have tried to kill off some other units, but none of these units do fall. Going to throw up a wall here soon to defend these chicken, eat the rest of these goat. He's got a good amount of goat. We do see there's a 6 goat for reDo. So the damage is being done to SunTzu. He's had to get early watchtowers here, but he's throwing up 2 longhouses, not overcommitting to anything at this point. I'm kind of hoping that he does go heroic age, but also I kind of wish that he didn't cast Dwarven Goldmine at the start of the game, because what is going to happen here is SunTzu is not going to be able to secure this gold mine or this gold mine if reDo plays this one correctly. We see another Valor coming down for reDo, and SunTzu just going to play very, very safe inside his base. 2,200 gold left in that gold mine. And we have seen the military units cut here. So there is a high chance that SunTzu goes for his heroic age here. And maybe he can come forward, get this gold mine with a frost, and hold on to it afterwards. It's an option. We'll see what happens. The Ulfs are going to be moving out of the base now. There's the armory coming up. The Terma will spot it, so I wonder what reDo's reaction to that's going to be. Actually, I'm not sure if he spotted it or not. He did spot it. He spotted the Dwarven Armory. So he knows that that's obviously what SunTzu wants to try and do. He's getting his own second talent center. I wonder if he goes 3 talent center and just tries to go full pop army pressure here, followed with the heroic age a little bit later. Obviously, reDo has access to his hunt, access to his berries. There's some monkeys over here, but that's not that good of a hunt. We do see the Ulfsar coming in. You're going to look for some picks here. You've got to be really careful with these Ulfsar. Only 4.8 speed compared to the 5.5 speed of the Terma. So he's going after the Catapulti, doing big damage to that one. But as soon as the Promethean comes in, it's going to have to retreat. Does get medium infantry here, throwing down some farms. Maybe a little bit earlier on the farms. He's got a lot of goat here, and I know he wants to fatten as many of these as he possibly can, but it's a lot of wood invested into those farms, and we'll see how he's going to go from this in this game, where he's going to move. Second town center for reDo is up. He still hasn't done his farm transition, but he should be fine. He's getting Kopesh of Horror. He's going to throw that into the temple. That's going to be huge for him, especially against the fire giants. Maybe SunTzu might risk a Bragi or something crazy. No way he goes Bragi though. Surely not. He's getting very, very far away from the heroic age at this point. He needs a lot more food, a lot more gold, and he's actually making raiding cavalry. Did he get armory upgrades? Is it all a fake? I'm not sure what SunTzu is attempting to achieve by making raiding cavalry in this spot. Maybe he wants this town center. Maybe he can secure this, but obviously this town center is the one that would be ideal for SunTzu. So he's looking like he's going to grab it. This is interesting. I don't know if it's going to work because, I mean, this timing comes out that the score drop for SunTzu is going to be roughly the same time that he would have clicked advance. But man, reDo is such a bonkers good player. He spots the score drop immediately and he's running straight over here to check the town center out. He's going to go for a fight here. There is a forest fire and we do see that going down immediately. Forces the army to move, so a bunch of free damage done. Losing 1 Terma, 2 Terma. The watchtower dealing some damage as well. And this town center is just about to get up. So we'll see where SunTzu goes after this. He's only got 1,000 gold left in his gold mine, and he's going to be fighting against a 130 population reDo army. And reDo is probably going to be able to get heroic age fairly soon. There's the town center up. But SunTzu's going to be heroic age fairly soon. So maybe it's going to be fine, but there's going to be a bunch of time that these dwarves are going to be idle. We see the advance time. Just stop building dwarves. The dwarves can come over and finish off the gold or whatever. See the Terma coming back in. I'm surprised to see reDo going so hard on these Terma, especially after seeing the army comp that SunTzu's going for. Huge pick off here from SunTzu, picking off so many of reDo's units. And reDo now going to be chilling over here. He realizes this is the gold mine. This is what matters. And we see Skadi. Skadi is incoming. SunTzu's got enough for a hill fort, but not a lot more. I think what would be interesting here, or better, would have been a wall across this location here. Then he could have split this army off, especially when he saw that over there, but he didn't manage to do that one. And now SunTzu is going to be just about running out of gold. Imagine if he still had Dwarven Gold Mine. Just saying, he'd have another 3,000 gold here by far. Or maybe he would have... Maybe he might not have made the heroic age. I don't know. But we are seeing SunTzu's town center under threat right now as most of his army is out of position, it's looking like. The village is garrisoning into this location and he's targeting down the Promethean, unfortunately. You need to target down those melee units, those hack damage units. We're waiting and seeing if SunTzu's going to be able to come over here. He does have Frost. There is the heroic age for SunTzu. He needs to hit all of these units with the Frost here. Maybe. He's at 90 population. I don't think he wins the 130 pop fight. There's about to be 145 pop very soon. He's going to be taking this fight for just a little bit before deciding to turn around. Still no Frost on this location. Don't fully understand it, especially because he's out of gold right now. He is over on this location though, so it is totally fine. And there's the Frost going down. He's pumping out his units. He's got some Frost Giants. He's got some units here. Does he have any armory upgrades? He has Copper Shields, going to help out quite a bit. I wonder where this Ulfsark's going. Oh, he's going over to the corner to build a market, obviously trying to rush out Ragnarok here. What you can do here in this situation is you can just put all of these villages over onto this gold mine and try and buy your way to the Mythic Age. You get around about 2,000 gold or 1,500 gold, 500 food from your farms, and you advance. We'll see if this is going to work out or not. reDo should immediately retreat away from this location. I doubt he stays and fights, especially under the town center fire, but we'll see what he's going to do. And he is attempting to retreat. All of these units look like they're going to be falling here as SunTzu has pushed in front in this game for the first time. And we see the heroic age has hit for reDo. He's making more Catapulti, more Murmillo to deal with those raiding cavalry of SunTzu. He's going to be retreating back, picking off more of those Murmillo, and I absolutely love the effort made here by SunTzu to put this marker down in the corner, because now, if he wants to go Balder, he can, and he can make a decent trade route, build 3 to 5 Ox Caravans while you're ragging. That gets you the Fire Giant follow-up, and it's really, really good. So we'll see if that's what SunTzu's going to do. We do see that he's happily mining over here. But the problem for SunTzu right now is all these Catapulti are going to be brutal. This Stymphalian Bird flying overhead is going to be very hard to deal with. We're starting to see some throwing action coming out, some more Frost Giants coming in. The Frost Giant does hit the Promethean there. But look at the damage the Stymphalian Bird does. It just completely decimates that Frost Giant here. Even though it's doing pierce damage, and the Frost Giant's got 69% pierce armor. It's the bonus damage versus myth units that is so huge, and the fact it shoots 3 projectiles. But it is looking as if the army here from SunTzu has managed to put reDo back. We still don't see Axe of Muspel. There it is, and we're also seeing Huntress Axe, which I love because that's going to be huge for those throwing axemen. And maybe SunTzu can grab this town center next. The problem's going to be is you're going to run out of gold in this gold mine before Ragnarok, and can he get this gold mine against the Oranos pressure? And the next Frost Giant coming in to this army here. The town center is on its way. reDo, there's a hill fort. Maybe the ordering there slightly off. He may be able to have gotten that hill fort up, but now he has to fight this. Seeing the Stymphalian Bird sniping some villagers here, getting pushed back. The hill fort does not go up. Now we're seeing a random medium Murmillo coming over to check out this location. reDo probably, well, he might sacrifice the Murmillo. SunTzu can easily take that one down. reDo getting a little bit over aggressive with this army underneath the town center. Those throwing axemen in the back do a lot of damage, and he does have that Axe of Muspel. He needs to get them targeted onto the Stymphalian Bird. So as soon as you see the Frost Giant targeted, you run the Frost Giant back and drag the Stymphalian Birds into the throwing axeman army. And if you do that, then the Stymphalian Birds will fall very quickly. That is the micro trick. But while this is going on, we're seeing the Stymphalian Birds coming in, raiding the gold mine of SunTzu, hitting that ox cart. That's huge. That's going to stop any gold income for quite some time. And not only that, these Stymphalian Birds just doing so much damage. SunTzu not paying attention. This is huge for reDo here. The Stymphalian Birds taking down these throwing axemen so well as well, even with Axe of Muspel. And finally, we're seeing the dwarves retreating away from here. I bet you SunTzu wished he got up his hill fort on this location instead of trying to greedily put it up over here. But now reDo is going to be able to start pushing in onto this town center. He's got some destroyers out, so those do bulk damage here. He's got 9 throwing axemen inside this town center, though. We do see fortified town centers comes out. We've got the throwing axemen popping out, going to be sniping some of those units now. We see a couple of those throwing axemen going after the Stymphalian Birds, but all of those melee units should be falling very quickly. The Stymphalian Bird does fall as well. And now reDo is having to retreat. SunTzu back in a decent position here, trying as he might to mine gold in this game. But the problem for SunTzu right now is going to be Arcus Destroyer are coming. So the Arcus are going to completely counter these throwing axemen that SunTzu's mustered right now. So we'll see if that's going to be a problem for him, because he hasn't actually gotten any hill fort up just yet. The raid on the gold happening yet again. No walls over here for SunTzu, as this raid is just so brutal. Maybe SunTzu can just send villagers over here. He's going to throw up their hill fort. I actually kind of like the bait that SunTzu's done here, because he's able to swap the position, give him some time to maybe get this hill fort up, but it's just not looking like it's going to be enough, because reDo's just got so many units out at 160 of 160 pop. SunTzu with only 112 of 160, but he is picking off a lot of these reDo units as he has to retreat. But he's managed, reDo's managed to stop the hill fort, but that's it. These throwing axemen deal so much damage. Will we see this hill fort up? He needs to throw it up. We're seeing more raids coming over onto these villages. Why are they here? Perfectly good wood line over here, which is very safe. And now the Murmillo going to be dealing damage. The hill fort coming back up. reDo sees it, coming back up, deciding to move in. I think he's going to be too little too late now. The village is turning around to fight these, but now the Stymphalian birds raining fire from the skies. And we'll see if he's going to retreat from this location now. And the hill fort up now, so that's going to prevent reDo from being able to get in here and pick off these units. And we'll see how this goes. Let's just check this out. We've got Helios incoming for reDo. Not going for the standard Hecate. Not going to have any answer to Fire Giants, which is huge. The fact that he doesn't have that, but the amount of pressure he's going to be able to put on with Vortex is going to be huge. And it's looking as if reDo simply just wants to finish this game before the Ragnarok comes, because he realizes that's not going to be something that he wants to be able to deal with, or is going to be able to deal with. We see bronze shields coming through for SunTzu as he is constantly trying to get his army a little bit stronger. Winter Harvest, the extra technology that Norse or Skadi has access to, giving you super farms with the extra 20% gather rate on them, I believe. So 20%? Yep, 20% extra food and gather rate of the farms. A huge technology. So when that comes through for SunTzu, we're going to start seeing that food skyrocketing. But how is he going to be able to deal with Fire Siphon on his town center up here? There is a guarantee that this town center will be falling. However, this gold mine is just about to be out. And the question's going to be, what can SunTzu do? And we see the vortex happens instantly, coming in, hitting this location. Still only medium infantry going after the town center. There is no masons. There is fortified town centers though. How many destroyers? He's got 8 destroyers and 1 Heka Gigantes or Gigantes. And that's going to take this town center down so fast. We see the villagers, unfortunately, path blocking here as the Stymphalian birds running over to this side, going to hit this gold mine. And now the town center's down. SunTzu just getting masons out. Is he going to be able to click advance here? He doesn't need the town center to win this game. He just needs to somehow hit Balder in the next, I don't know, minute and a half, and he has clicked up to Balder. It's going through on the main town center. The problem is going to be for SunTzu if reDo hits the right town center with the next vortex, because these vortexes they only take a minute to recharge. That this takes a minute 30 to come through. So there is a high chance right now that reDo can vortex in, kill this town center before Balder comes in. So we'll see if that's what reDo is going to be going for. He is taking this fight. The Frost Giant is after the Heka Gigantes, but without the special, it's going to be a difficult situation. We do see yet again another vortex hitting this gold mine. SunTzu now going to definitely get Balder, but is he going to be able to win the game from it or not? There is the shockwave hitting all of his villagers into this army. Really nice shockwave there from reDo as these vortexes are doing so much damage. And again, another minute to go by before this goes up, but maybe SunTzu doesn't mind. He still hasn't made any attempt at a trade route. It would have been vitally important. Still fighting here. SunTzu, no gold in the bank. The hill fort falls here. And we finally see those throwing axemen targeting down the Stymphalian bird as it does fall, sitting at 124 pop to 155 pop, 160 pop for reDo. So very, very full population here. The Stymphalian birds still at the back, picking off all of those raiding cavalry as the throwing axemen doing so much. How is the armory situation looking? We got full bronze and iron shields versus bronze mail, bronze weapons for reDo. And now there's the Ragnarok. Iron weapons coming through for reDo. Ragnarok hits its 285 supply. So a huge, huge Ragnarok. These villagers actually snuck up onto this gold mine for a hot second there before pushing in at the top of the map. reDo retreating back. We see the score jump to SunTzu back in the lead here. And we're seeing if SunTzu can make this happen with this Ragnarok, it's very difficult for Oranos players to defend. We do see architects, fortified town centers. We've got the palace up. We've got the guard towers up. The problem problem's going to be gold here for reDo because he's very low on the gold. And if SunTzu senses this, he's going to be able to gold starve and then slowly push through onto reDo, and that may just be too much. We're seeing the army fighting these heroes of Ragnarok. The throwing axemen need to target these Stymphalian birds down. That is absolutely imperative because these heroes of Ragnarok don't do anything. He's got a lot of idols. He does have Fire Giant though, so he can use those to take down the Stymphalian bird, I guess. Meanwhile, we're seeing these heroes of Ragnarok going after the second town center of reDo. We'll see if we can take it down without taking too many losses. The guard towers are coming up very, very fast. There is a small trade route started for reDo. His army completely crushed down to 100 population as reDo is just trying to make units. He's making the Fanatics with the extra 100% bonus against the heroes of Ragnarok. So that's not 15 damage they're doing a second. That's 30 damage a second. There's the Vortex coming over onto this location. The heroes of Ragnarok should simply just stay here, take these units down, take down the palace over here, take down this fortified town center. He's got a good amount of food in the bank to repopulate. He's building this town center back up. So long as this damage has been sustained, or has done enough to reDo, then potentially SunTzu is going to be able to take this one. He takes down all of those units. reDo with very low amount of food here. We're seeing the heroes of Ragnarok searching. They saw the gold mine though. Where are you going, SunTzu? You got to hit this gold mine. It's the only gold right now that reDo has. Now the heroes of Ragnarok have found the wood gathering villages, going to be taking those down as well. We see 18 civilian units left for reDo. SunTzu slowly getting his villages back into the game. He's got 5 villages. He's got irrigation and winter harvest, so the food income is going to be huge for him. We haven't seen him making ox caravans though, but the market will be going down very, very shortly. This town center will be going down as well. The villages inside may fall, or it's just Murmillo will fall, but SunTzu's Ragnarok is starting to fizzle out as reDo's still at a healthy amount of supply right now. So the question is going to be, can SunTzu repopulate? Did he do enough damage? 11 civilian units to 15 or 14 going down to 13 citizen here. So a big advantage in the economy at this point for reDo, but he's only it's only going to be advantage for a small amount of time. So long as SunTzu can stay alive, get that economy going. He's already 15 villages out onto these resources here. He's making gatherers onto gold as well. He should be able to get back and keep going in this game. And what is this in times 3? 30, 42? No, 38. Yeah. You need about 20 more villages to catch up to where reDo's economy is. And reDo's not looking like he's not building villages at this point. So in a minute's time here, potentially, SunTzu can be back in the game economically. So we'll see if he's going to manage to do that. He's just running away from these units for the time being. Potentially fighting this isn't a bad idea because that forces reDo to spend more resources. reDo's actually currently gold starved. So picking off these units are huge, but we are seeing some small raids coming in onto this gold mine over here. reDo spots it, but I don't know if he noticed it or not. And SunTzu just going to be kiting around with his army, forcing reDo to chase it down. The villagers are out now for SunTzu. He's almost got enough to start this trade route, which he definitely should start. He's got 72 favor in the bank, making those fire giants out, which are going to be huge. And we'll see how this goes for SunTzu for sure. But we are seeing this raid from the single Murmillo. Not the best because you're going to be needing every single one of those units. For some reason, reDo's still not building any civilian units here. He's getting a lot of resources, but not building anything. Where's the market? Now some villagers moving forward. There's no market up for him, so he's not able to trade that food for gold. And he's sort of idle with all his units. The heroes of Ragnarok now coming in can take down the manors if he wants, which he's going to go for. Now we see the Stymphalian birds coming up to the top of the map here, going to be hitting some of the gatherers here, actually going after the ox carrot just one more time. He wants to kill that one there. Duke the arrows. Oh, he's going to be retreating off. He does have this gold mine over here as well. Fire giants are out now. SunTzu with good amount of villagers here. Now at 41, he's actually caught up on the economy as SunTzu has done that. But reDo not built any villages. For some reason, idle villages in his town center as well. The barracks going down. The manor going down as well as reDo is dropping down to less than 100 population. Where is reDo? What is he doing? He's not even... Finally, he's snuck this gold mine with a couple of villages here, so he's going to start building some more units, but he needs to rebuild his houses. He doesn't have the wood here. He can chop down some random trees in the middle of the map here, but what's he going to do? SunTzu's got an army. He's got good resources, good civilian count, still no trade, which I don't understand. The trade would be huge. And you'll start to see SunTzu floating resources, starting to be able to populate his army. He's still trying to make fire giants here as these Heroes of Ragnarok doing so much damage. No attempt to raid this gold mine again. Obviously, the two gold mines are this one and this one for reDo. There's the first Ox Caravan for SunTzu in the 28th minute of this game. Going to be huge for him. And reDo has finally started building villages after so long of not building them now after that Ragnarok, and it may be too little too late because the fire giants are out, and going Helios means you have no answer to them. If you go Hecate, at least you have the Lampands and you can turn them to chaos and stop them in their tracks. Look at that damage there onto those villages. I think that villager was... I don't think that was the damage it dealt. It was a little low. He does manage to snipe that one low HP citizen. Nice play from SunTzu. Now reDo coming over with his army. And we'll see what SunTzu can do in this given position that he has. He's making throwing action. He's making raiding cavalry. He's making fire giant. SunTzu just so huge right now. I don't see why he wouldn't just attack this town center. Flood control coming through for SunTzu. He's ignoring the big army that's here. Imagine if he fought this army right now, would be huge. Maybe he's going up to the top town center, preventing that one from going into reDo's hands. Not a bad idea. We'll see if he can make it happen. The Arcus are chasing this army of SunTzu. He doesn't even care. He's just like, whatever. Just going to walk away from you. Do we have any more Vortex? No, there's no more Vortex. There is a Hesperid's tree. Not that it matters too much at this point, but there is one for him to use somewhere. We're seeing a wall coming down on this location for SunTzu, attempting to transition into more of a late game here. Champion infantry now coming through for SunTzu. He's getting all his upgrades. Carpenters coming through. The army of reDo has to turn around. He's making some hero Arcus. The village is getting pushed off this gold mine. Now SunTzu is happily going to take this fight with that huge splash damage start there from the fire giants. The fire giants get huge shockwave from reDo, and we'll see these fire giants easily able to take down the Stymphalian birds as it has to run away. Turning around, taking this fight. It's looking as though SunTzu's army is getting destroyed though by what reDo has. He's got a bunch of those hero Arcus now to take down the fire giants. There's still a couple of units in the back that are going to help out quite a bit. Now we're seeing villagers move forward onto this gold mine for SunTzu as well. He does have a lot of resources in the bank. He needs more military buildings though to keep up with the spam. We're seeing coinage coming through, heavy cavalry coming through. It's looking as if the fire giant is just about to fall here as the villagers returning to the gold mine as reDo wins that fight. And we're going to continue in this game somehow, some way. Seeing more units getting built, but still only, well, it's 5 military buildings plus the temple. So 6 military buildings, 7 military buildings, but this one isn't building anything. Still no hill fort, which would be huge here if you could start making Jarls and Huskarls, and even Balder Rams are such a huge tool to be used at this stage of the game. We'll see how this is going to happen. And we'll see where is reDo going to go. If he hits this gold mine, it's going to be big. But since he's got a lot of gold in the bank, he's got a good amount of villages out now. 79 villages have been built for SunTzu. And I think they're all gatherers. I don't think he has a single dwarf. Not a single dwarf was built in this game. Getting tax collectors as well? Jesus. What is... Is this the tribute? Oh, I guess market seller. Okay, so he can do that. Taking out the army of reDo over here. Stymphalian Bird's flying in, going to try and do some stuff. Nice pick there by SunTzu. He's going to continue to try and come in onto this town center. The citizen coming up onto this gold mine. We see another market up for reDo, just desperately trying to start something of a trade route. The village is getting pushed back on this location right now as all of SunTzu's army is in the top part of the map. But SunTzu's got 140 of 160 pop. If he had 160 of 160 pop, he could deal with this easily. Just turn these into Ulfsark. You don't need this many villages at this point. Ulfsark would be huge because you've already got champion infantry. You're easily going to be able to fight back at this, but it's not going to happen. Now we see the throwing axeman going over here onto this town center, grabbing it for himself. The champion raiders have spotted the gold mine of reDo, and this is going to be lights out for reDo with 7 or 8 dead villagers here, potentially, and no more gold mines for reDo. If SunTzu can get micro this just a little bit, he should be able to prevent every single one of these citizens getting home. And we do see some more units coming over here, preventing the town center from getting up. But there's the surround. There's the fire giant special. And that's 8 dead civilian units. Have you ever heard anything more delicious in your entire life? The citizens all falling. Now you can see dipping back down to 17 at a point there. Before 2 more were built. Now seeing some ox caravans going down, really trying to micro to the best of his ability here. The Arcus in the back going down. The Murmillo in the front trying to deal with these raiders, but they're champion raiders at this point. Like, even though these are Murmillo, they don't really counter this. These are like brutally strong. Do we even have iron? We do have iron weapons, but no iron mail. We're seeing those Murmillo just not being enough. Just get the villagers over here getting picked off. But honestly, SunTzu's just going to want that population for army at this point. He does swap the... Or he loses his market. He's got idle ox caravans, but he's going to try and build the market up the top side of the map to keep that trade going. He does have plenty of gold in the bank and a gold mine up here that he can grab. And reDo loses his market as well. Fire Giant pulling back. We see the throwing axeman trying to get back onto this talent center to slowly but surely get that one up. Stymphalian Bird's doing a lot of damage to the straggler units, but SunTzu smartly making a Fire Giant here to deal with these. At least that's what it seems like he's going to be doing here. And there we go, using the special first, which doesn't do a lot of damage to the Stymphalian Bird, but that will force the Stymphalian Birds back. And SunTzu still trying as he might to get this town center up, but it's just not happening as reDo is not giving up. But reDo's got 6 gold in the bank, 113 pop, and SunTzu's at 141 of 160 pop here with tons of resources in the bank. If he just built like 5 more longhouses, it would be max pop, but not doing that. We're seeing some units coming over, checking this gold mine out. The talent center can now get grabbed for SunTzu, and he's going to be able to jump up to 180 population. And reDo's just not going to be able to continue here because he's got no trade. He's got 1 trade caravan, which is effectively idle because it's not making any gold for its trips. And he's got 21 civilian units. And he's up against a full economy Thor with full upgrades almost. He's look at that hammer of the gods. Such a huge amount of damage for these Norse units. The civilians getting killed yet again. So we're seeing reDo's civilian count going back down to 19, down to 18 very soon as well. And that's 18, maybe even further. And no, just down to 18 there. But just no economy left. Town center just about up for SunTzu. And the Stymphalian Bird raids never giving up, going after these guys. We see the market is up. The ox caravans are on their way. And the town center is just about up. We see some throwing axemen heading their way over to take down these Stymphalian Birds. There's a couple of throwing axemen already here. Look at the damage they do. They just completely total this Stymphalian Bird at this stage of the game with 8.55 damage due to Hammer of the Gods. Town center not being allowed up just yet. reDo's still sneakily getting what he needs. We are seeing a Fire Giant coming in onto this gold mine to to prevent the gold income yet again. Look at this damage here. Boom. Not as much as you would like, but still, it's splash damage on villagers is always fun, right? Right? Ooh, reDo's villager just about to fall as well. And SunTzu is leaving over here as this town center is just about up. We see the Dryads coming in here. That's going to prevent this town center from going up yet again, but with more throwing axemen coming in onto this location, it's starting to look like it is about to get up, and it does get up. Jump straight to that 4,300 HP, and that's going to be reDo tapping out. GG, well played by SunTzu. 36 minutes and 59 seconds here after all of the chaos that SunTzu had to go through in the early stages of the game, with the Dwarven gold mine going in the middle of nowhere, with the oracles coming in, sniping an early villager, with the 2 gold mines being very much difficult to defend, but managing to hold on by the skin of his teeth, get to Balder, do the damage. reDo not able to defend well enough here. If he'd built villages straight away, if reDo had built villages straight away, this may have been a different game, because SunTzu made the mistake of not making ox caravans before he advanced to the Mythic Age, which was actually huge, because it meant he didn't have the gold for immediate fire giants. It means he didn't have the gold for dwarves to come onto the large gold mines and all the other things that come with that. But SunTzu did manage to take this one in the end. Really nice play from him, going up 1-0 in the series. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.